You look as beautiful as ever, my love. Fallout, I can't believe this is our 5th Valentine's Day together. Feels like we just met. You know, I've loved you since the first day I saw you. I was so young. You were so young too. It was your first day alive, basically a baby. You're perfect, Fallout. You really are. What's that? Are you not Fallout? No! Mission Impossible 2 is... Have you ever loved something as a kid that you later realized sucked? It's the same story every time. After years of maturing, you go, oh yeah, that thing, and excitedly come back, and whoops, it's either plain awful or outdated, or sometimes even inappropriate. Like I said a million times in the last video, I love Mission Impossible so much. Every single one of them. And because of that, I watch them all the time. I know them front to back, with an exception. Because even though I rewatch Fallout, and Rogue Nation, and Ghost Protocol, and 3 in 1 constantly, I have not made much of an effort to keep up with Mission Impossible 2. And that's for a specific reason. I used to love it as a kid. I thought it was so cool. But there's a small part of me that's been scared to return to it today. So I've been avoiding that problem. Didn't watch it. Blissful ignorance. Haven't seen it in years. I'm keeping myself in this perfect world where I remember the good things about it and not realize the reality that rewatching it could potentially force on me. I really want to keep liking this movie. But then, as you know, the insignificant Mission Force told me to recreate a stunt from every Mission Impossible movie before Mission Impossible 7 comes out. And what that means is that it's time to face the music. So, for the first time in years, I gathered some friends and watched Mission Impossible 2. What'd you think? Mission Impossible 2 is not a great movie. And why argue that it's not awful? There are definitely...
Yes, it is. It's a horrible movie. It's ruined my life. It's the worst thing I've ever...
A fun part of the series is that the first 5 movies are all directed by different people and have different creative teams. This gives each one its own identity. It's kind of like how the Zelda games work, if you're familiar with those. The original was made by Brian De Palma, a revered director who made serious stuff like The Untouchables and A Chicken Restaurant. This movie was directed by John Woo. John Woo is known for making extremely stylized action movies, and that style is 90s. Bullet ballet, leather jackets, slow motion, close quarters gunfights, and it shows. This movie came out in 2000, 1 year after The Matrix told everyone how to be cool. And it's all about sunglasses and leather coats and guns and corny music and zoom-ins and corny music and zoom-ins and corny music. Hans Zimmer made this soundtrack? If the name John Woo sounds familiar, he's the guy who made Face Off. Yep, that's what we're dealing with today. The follow-up to one of the most famously dumb movies of all time. Only now Nicolas Cage is not here to save the day. Sorry, Tom Cruise. In this movie, Ethan Hunt must work with new character Naya to recover a deadly bioweapon, the Chimera virus. The virus is being trafficked by some rogue agent, Simon Ambrose, who Naya used to be romantically involved with. She has to pretend to be in love with him again in order to sneak around for Hunt so they can secretly save the day or whatever. This movie is kind of boring. The Chimera virus plot is not very engaging. The movie starts with a few cool scenes and fun interactions. Dang it, did you seriously pull a 007? And then the middle of this movie has your typical Mission Impossible complex plot stuff, only this time without the soul or the fun or the sense behind it. I don't know, the story of the scientist doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and their scenes are way too long and dry. If there isn't an explosion happening in this movie, it's pretty stale. The dialogue scenes are not terrific. These doctor scenes are also kind of convoluted because you see, this guy died at the beginning of the movie. He's actually Ethan Hunt in a mask, and at the same time this scene's going on, this is happening, and he is actually Simon Ambrose in an Ethan Hunt mask. Twist! I'd say the most recognizable gadget in the Mission Impossible universe are these face masks. In each movie's characters can wholly disguise as one another, and it leads to some exciting sequences. However, each movie usually has maybe 1 or 2 mask reveals like this. With Mission Impossible 2, I lost count.
There are so many masks.
You okay?
Who is who? Why would I trust anyone? Everyone in the movie is wearing a mask.
It's a movie, dude.
Anyone could be wearing a mask. Are you wearing a mask? Are you really you?
I think so. Ask me something only I would know.
Who composed the soundtrack for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation?
Oh, Joe Kramer.
Okay, it's you. But an imposter will also do their research.
Moving on. This series has not been the best with representation. Say what you will about the value of diversity in cinema. It's a good thing. But this movie only has 1 female character, and she is sexualized and used purely as an object for romantic deceit by the male characters. The men use her to meet their needs, and she is not allowed much agency. The only thing she gets to do in the entire final act of the movie is to wait off-screen for Ethan Hunt to save her.
No. She's got no training for this kind of thing.
But to go to bed with a man and lie to him, she's a woman. She's got all the training she needs.
Anthony Hopkins is in this movie? Let's do some stunts. All right, so the beginning of this movie is fun. Middle is kind of boring, but the end? The end of the second act kicks this movie into high gear. Hunt breaks into the lab. A slow-motion gunfight blows everything up. Naya injects herself with Chimera. Ambrose is a whiny little and Tom Cruise jumps out a window. It's rad. And then comes what I remember being my favorite part of this movie. One of my favorite parts in the series. The one thing that can't be bad about this awesome movie. Ethan breaks into the bunker to stop the bad guys, and in doing so, gets caught. He is brought before Ambrose, who shoots him dead. The audience is stunned. Is he truly dead? But then, in the sickest twist of all time, Ambrose realized that he was shooting his sidekick, who Hunt put a mask of himself on, while Hunt put the sidekick mask on while he stole the samples and ran away. Wasn't that awesome?
I hated that.
So yeah, the climax of this movie, filled with too many mask reveals, is a double mask reveal. It's a lot. It's a lot.
That movie was so bad. What am I gonna do with my life? So many masks. Anyone could be wearing a mask. Wait, could I be wearing a mask?
That is a real knife close to Tom Cruise's real eye, like this far from each other. It's rad. They got like a super strength cable attached to the knife to keep it from getting close to him. It's really cool, really risky, and really dangerous. And for that reason, I don't know if I want to do it. I don't really know if I want to stab my eye out.
I do.
Oh, hey, what's up?
That awful movie ruined me.
It wasn't that bad.
I ripped my face off after watching it.
Oh, you know. Good. Okay, I didn't want to bring it up.
And now I can't watch another movie ever again. And if that mess of a movie is the last thing I get to see, so will it be for you.
Yeah, maybe it is a bad movie. That kind of sucks. No, okay, no, okay. Knife away from face. Knife away from face, please.